All right. So, can a department have liability if they spike a vehicle during a pursuit and then terminate the pursuit? Right. So, my name is Anthony Bandiero, attorney and senior legal instructor for Blue to Go Law Enforcement Training, bringing a Roadside Chat. This question comes from an officer in Indiana. There's a lot going on here and a lot of context, but basically, the gist here is that officers are pursuing a vehicle, and there's again a lot of details about the guy going through cul-de-sacs and turning around, and other agencies being involved. And I think they terminated the pursuit, got back into it. But the crux of the question, which is an interesting question, is: all right, let's say that the vehicle has been spiked, right? One tire, four tires, whatever. First of all, is that considered a use of force? And I think the answer is yes, because even though you're not directly putting force on the driver or the occupants, they are contained in this vehicle, and it is foreseeable. Well, you're trying when you're using spikes or in some extreme cases, cops shoot at vehicles. That's an intentional physical force that with the intent to subdue them, right? What is the intent? The intent is for them to stop escaping and so forth. So I think that falls pretty squarely in line with a case called Torres v. Madrid, U.S. Supreme Court, where they clarified that even if the person is not instantly subdued, right, by being shot at, in the Torres case, she was actually shot, but she did not submit until a while later. The Supreme Court said at the point of intentionally using force upon somebody, and with the intent for them to submit to your authority, that is a use of force under the Fourth Amendment. That is that's a seizure under the Fourth Amendment, right? So obviously, a use of force goes hand in hand, and so I see ultimately no legal difference with the fact that you're applying force to their means of transportation. It's like if you grab somebody's coat for them to not leave, would that be using force on them? Would that be a seizure under the Fourth Amendment? And the answer is yes, because you don't have to grab their skin to use force or to seize them. Seizing their coat, which is part of them, is the same thing, and that's how I look at it. All right. If it is force, this is the second question. What is the liability for the department now? Do they have to stick with it? Right? Well, look, I'm not giving you legal advice, and certainly these situations are very complicated and they're going to have a lot of legal issues. But as far as I'm concerned, as far as a high-level conversation about liability, I think the answer is that there could be some liability because, A, did the police do something to that vehicle to make it inherently unstable, right? And the answer is yes, they spiked it. Now it has no inflated tires. And B, is it foreseeable, right, that application of spike strips can cause an accident with the vehicle and lose control? And the answer is yes. So the cops did something affirmative by spiking it. And B, is it foreseeable that something could happen, like an accident? So I'm not saying that if you spike somebody and they crash, you are on the hook for everything. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that what would be reasonable in my view is for the police to use their lights and sirens to warn other traffic that there's a vehicle that that's trying to escape and so forth, and that this vehicle, the warning could be, hey, stop, get out of the way, pull to the right like you're supposed to, so that this vehicle hopefully does not hit you. But I think that courts and juries would want to see that attempt to warn others of this impending dangerous situation coming down the road. I think that if cops spiked it and then decided to terminate and just turn around and leave this, as my friend here calls a missile, right? An unguided missile going down the road, I think that that's problematic. So I think that by using lights and sirens, I think that that's helping the situation so others people can be warned to get out of the way. The officer's asking for case law. I don't have any particular case law in my my database, and I'm sure you guys can appreciate that. If I was if I had to look for some case law specifically on this issue, it could take me hours and hours. So I try not to invest that much particular legal research, state-specific research on these roadside chats. I'm just trying to give you some high-level talking points and just some things to consider. But I think it's a good conversation. I think it's something that your legal team and the EVOC, Emergency Vehicle Operators, course, the emergency vehicle operator trainers and so forth something to consider if you're going to consider terminating on a pursuit that you already spiked. All right, maybe I don't want to get too confusing on this, but something to consider. All right, hopefully it helped. If it added to the conversation, it added some clarity, just even a little bit, hit the like button and so forth. All right, I'll be making some more of these videos. Stay tuned.